guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you don't already know me, I'm Emma Line, and today I'm going to be teaching you how I created the viral Zara gown. So it isn't really a gown, it's a jumpsuit instead, because I didn't want to wear the pantyhose, so I created a jumpsuit instead of a gown. For like more safety, it's your choice if you want to create the gown instead of the jumpsuit, but for my preference, I wanted the jumpsuit instead of the gown. And I added a little bit of flower for like decoration because I didn't like how plain it was on the shoulder, so that was why I created that. Anyway, let's get into the video. For this project, you are going to be needing your pattern paper, curved ruler for your armhole and hip line, and also a straight ruler with your marker or pencil. And the first thing I did was to take half an inch away from the top that will be used in advance. I began with my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which was divided into two. Then I took from my shoulder to my bust line, shoulder to my waistline, and also shoulder to my hip line. Then for my waistline, I took my crotch points. I also took the length from there. Note, you can always change the length after sewing. Then I took my circumference of the thigh and divided it by 2. I took the circumference of my bust, divided it by 4, and did the same all to my measurements. I also took my nipple to nipple measurement for my darts and divided it into 2, taking half an inch on both sides. Then I connected them together. For my neck width and length, I used 3 by 3 inches. I'll be adjusting the neck to my main measurement later. I went down by 1 inch from my shoulder and connected it to the upper shoulder. Then I took the measurement of my armhole, which was 8 inches, and connected it together. I divided the 8 inches into 2 and made the point there for my new armhole. I used my curved ruler to connect it together. For my side dart, I came down by 1 inch and connected to the dart line and came out by 1.5 inches. Then on my side, I took half inch from top and also bottom, and I created my side dart. For my crotch, I went in from the center front of my length by 1.5 inches and connected it to meet my crotch line. Then I added 1 inches around my measurement and connected them. For my new neckline, I went up by 1 inch for the width and went down by 1.5 inch from the half inch we took from the beginning, and I connected the lines. For my new neckline to my shoulder, I took 2.5 inches and connected the new armhole together. I added half to quarter of an inch to the shoulder and neckline for my stitching allowance, then I cut it off. And that is it for the front pattern. For the back pattern, I took half an inch for my zip allowance, then I traced my front pattern into the back pattern. I took my darts because we will be cutting it off. On the side, I added 1 inch for the dart allowance when joining my fabric together, then I connected the new armhole. For the back neckline, I came down by 4 inches for my bust line, and for my shoulder, I took 1 inch away and connected the lines. When I cut the neckline, I left quarter of an inch for stitching allowance. Then I divided the darts into 2, and these are my patterns. We'll be cutting the front piece on fold and the back piece will be separate layers. For my lining, all I did was cut half of the front and back piece. I'm going to be joining the lining pieces first. I placed the 2 dart pieces together and stitched and serged with half an inch and did the same thing for the second back piece. I put in my side dart for the front piece, and then I joined the shoulders of the back piece and front piece, and then I joined the sides. For the main fabric, I joined the darts of the back piece and I took my side dart for the front piece and put my zip in the back piece before joining my crotch together. I joined the shoulders and side piece together using half an inch, and this was how it looked on me, and adjusted it to my real length. I adjusted my lining to the jumpsuit, putting the necklines for the front and the back together and top stitching, and also I added it to the zip line for a clean finish. Then I stitched down the lining to my allowance of my main fabric so it won't shift. For my armhole, I added the lining and main piece together and stitched them down. Then I used my bias tape to turn it over for clean finish. I used a needle and thread to make sure the stitch line isn't showing on the outside of the dress, and I loved it so far. And before I forget, I also hemmed the bottom of the shorts. For my ruffles, I used ×2 of my hip measurement for my gathers, and for my length, I took 15 inches on 3 sides because it will be folded. Also, I created my gathers on the upper side and also 2 in the middle and also on the lower side. If you have a fraying fabric like mine, please serge it first. I'll be joining the gather stitches together, and I'll advise you to make cuff stitches in the middle instead of straight ones. I checked out the length to see if it was what I wanted, and then it was. I was satisfied with it. To finish off the back of the ruffles, I joined one piece by piece so they can come out as each pieces, and after sewing, you pull them out one after the other. I had 3 separate layers there, so they are not joined together at all. I marked where I wanted to join the ruffles to my jumpsuit, then I stitched it down. If you are using a silk fabric like me, no matter how you use a cuff stitch for gathers or a straight stitch for gathers, it's still going to come out flat. So you are going to use your creativity as a designer, and I use needle and thread to stitch my fabric to create the bubbly design illusion there. So that's it for the whole project. And then I added flowers. And we've come to an end of the video, and I hope it was really easy to grab because I made sure I made the tutorial so easy. Anyway, if you like the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment and share, and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more of my fashion content and my video, my sewing video. And I'll see you in the next one.